Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court of Swords, episode 49. We didn't plan this. Did you guys know that the live show will be episode 50 of Court of Swords?
Really?
Oh shit!
That's crazy. It's our 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So that's
Do I
good.
bring a gift or how does that work? I don't.
I don't know. I think I'm technically supposed to give you a gift, probably.
Do the viewers send us gifts or how?
Maybe.
The thing is though, and you don't know this yet, Max, but episode 50 is not. It's not a birthday. It's not an anniversary. It's a funeral, my friend.
It is. Yeah,
It's a funeral.
That's
So
when we
Red
kill
wedding
shows.
shit going on.
that's right. Dress in black and get ready to cry.
I want to
walk in and I
say.
hear Red Wedding playing. I'm like, all right.
I want to say if we make it to like 54, it's the longest running roleplay show that we've done. I think
All right.
50 is like where we've cut every show off. Though, no, I don't know the numbers on Solemn. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think on
Solemn-
Swan Song. We
Solemn
ran a
is-
bunch of like side arcs, so maybe it's like 58.
Solemn's real confusing because it kind of like scatters out in all directions at one point.
Yeah.
If for some reason, by the way, my audio or video quality just takes a dip, like right now, it's because I'm uploading something. It'll pass. Don't worry.
Okay. Also, everyone, we're on Zoom this week because Skype decided to just not work as a program for some reason. So
I think actually Zoom is releasing a new ad campaign this week that's called Zoom for when Skype shits the bed.
pretty much, yeah.
That's their new tagline, I think.
Yeah. So if you notice like cameras dipping and quality and stuff like that, we're sorry.
I'm uploading.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't affect the rest of the call. Adam's
I know, I
camera
was
already looks
joking.
worse than Skype, etc.
At least callback humor.
Just getting that out of the way at the start of the show. Also, Erin's in a hotel in the LA area for TwitchCon. So if her mic sounds a little bit different,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they just delivered an entire pallet of things to my room, so
Oh, nice. So you're getting like 40 boxes or whatever today, right now. It's happening.
it's literally on a big pallet, and they just had to remove furniture from my room to deliver all these boxes. So,
Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, that's happening. Adam, what have you been up to?
I've been getting ready for TwitchCon. I got about 500,000 things I got to do at TwitchCon, so it's been just like talking to panelists and preparing questions and making sure I have all my shit sorted out. Yeah, this whole last week has been that, and then also prepping for the live show because there's only like two days in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
Busy. Yeah, I was deep in some like editing yesterday because I started Shadow of War, and I was just editing VODs for it and sitting there, and I was like, I've been doing this for like 2 hours, all this busy work, and I really want to try to like reduce the amount of that horse shit that I do in the next year. I need to invent some kind of robot.
Yeah. Horse shit work
Scarlett
kind of
Johansson,
sucks.
If you want to be my artificial intelligence assistant, please just hit me up. Just DM me, Scarlett.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Because I can't moments like this fall has been so busy, which is why just getting to sit down and play a game is so nice. Like I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as we actually started the show, I was like, cool. All I have to do for the next 4 hours is Dungeon Master, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing too is when you're editing Shadow of War, you can splice in, any point in that game right next to each other, and no one's gonna know that you were edited that much because it's the same game for
true,
30
it's
hours.
Yeah, I spent the first 6 hours doing the same thing over and over and over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's an
great.
easy edit. That's an easy edit. So,
Yeah.
Ken, what's going on with you, Mr. Bearhead?
You know me, same old same thing every day. Get up late after sleeping all day. Wish I had more time during my day to do things.
Yeah.
Play Witcher until 3 a.m. and wake up late again and repeat the process endlessly.
Nice. Nice. You're on that Witcher grind right now. You're playing the
Yeah.
games of years.
Yeah, actually, this is the first time I've ever played it too. Like I've waited until this point to finally play it.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of reinstalling Dark Souls 3 at like 11 o'clock last night. So
That's
that's
good.
a good
Yeah.
that's a good call for me. I got to play the board game, and I was like, oh, I haven't played Dark Souls in a long time.
How's that board game?
It's pretty fun.
Yeah?
We didn't get all the way through because the first time you play a board game, it takes fucking forever to learn because you're learning and doing setup and stuff. But it feels pretty Dark Soulsy.
How long does it take to get through a game?
Box says 2 hours, but like the first couple of times, longer, right?
Is it
plus
a-
also there's some grinding. You can like repeat encounters to get treasure and stuff. So.
Is it a quick to learn game?
It took us like maybe 2 hours to unbox, lay it out, and like figure out the rules. Like I
Oh, okay.
I know enough of it to teach someone how to play now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you want to bring that for mic check next week, we could do that on Friday.
Yeah, the thing weighs like 1,000,000 pounds.
Oh, it's got a lot of like statues and
It's,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
it's very large. I could probably, if I brought my roll-on luggage, I could probably do it.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Don't worry about it. We'll figure something else out. That's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you to do that.
Yeah. I just really like playing board games, and I never have any opportunity to. So any excuse,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's feasible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes
it's pretty
sense.
fun. I like it.
So yeah, The Witcher 3, Ken. What
Witcher 3,
you're
yeah.
just playing it? I
oh
mean,
yeah, just playing it, just doing it. I'm getting pretty close to the end. Like I'm making my final preparations right now to see how the story ends. And
Yeah.
it hasn't been spoiled for me yet. In all the years, no one's ever spoiled it for me. So
nice.
it's all new for me.
Well, that's good.
You made a mistake by saying that out loud.
That is true. Also,
I
Max
don't- I
made a
don't
mistake
even-
by saying you made a mistake because now it's going to
It's
prompt
true.
people
Now it's
even
compounded.
more.
Just hide the chat for a while.
And I'm fucking up even more by making a bigger deal
This
about
is
it.
just spinning out of control.
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't even remember how the game
It's,
ends.
it's how
so-
the brain works.
It's getting
Yeah.
even worse. Everybody's got to remind you how it ends now. Oh my god.
Because the trolls were activated, and then the potential trolls were activated.
Yes, yes, exactly. Ken, are you looking forward to anything coming out in the next big the I don't even know what to call next week, but it's like the biggest week of game releases in the history of 2017.
I mean,
coming
I enjoy playing Destiny, and I'm ready for that to come out. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to get back on that loot grind, I don't know. I'm too old.
You're too old for
Too
that
old to
shit.
spend like 24 hours playing one game just trying to get some exotics and stuff.
Well, Ken, let me tell you that I started playing WoW again this week. So you're
you're
never
too
too
old.
old.
Stop.
You're never too old, Ken. You're never too old to get on that loot grind. Okay? Don't let
7
anyone
years
tell
of
you
my life
otherwise.
in that game or something. And WoW, I don't think I can ever go back anymore. I just can't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play it a little bit. But I don't know. I've been kind of out of the loop. Like I didn't even realize that the Evil Within 2 had came out,
Yeah.
and South Park came out yesterday. I missed that until today.
Yep. I'm playing South Park this week, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Everybody's playing. I mean, I'm not surprised, but
Yeah, I mean it's a gigantic. It's also South Park historically has always done super well on Twitch. So
yeah, I get why though. I mean, it's a cool game.
yeah. The interesting thing will be after everyone's watched like 4 or 5 playthroughs, if those jokes are still funny. That's what I'm gonna ask the chat this weekend. If they are still finding what is on screen to be funny after hearing it for 4 or 5 times, because
People
Yeah.
love repetitive humor, and that's
Maybe
the
so.
thing. Like, they'll wait for the joke to come up and be like, "Oh, here comes the joke," and then it happens. They're like, "I knew the joke was coming," and then
yeah,
I feel involved. Yeah.
that's true.
It's like why wedding DJs have jobs, right? They don't play music that's good. They're just like, "Here's that joke you love, spinning it one more time."
It's
Yep.
true. It's true.
Shout out to Saudi Wedding.
Florida Mexican wedding or something like that. You know the one. Come on.
Been at a wedding recently, Max, or you just know these? Is this your hottest
know these
playlist?
things. I know these things.
You used to have a playlist whenever you. I need to feel like I'm at a wedding. Let's go back to the good times. You hit the playlist, play up all the latest, greatest songs.
Now I just
couple of
want
them
to. I
right
just
there.
want to imagine that's true. I want to imagine that Max has a playlist in his like iTunes. It's like Mexican wedding jams 2015. Just like
I
every once
have-
in a while it goes back and just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones I play too that are
Go to the gym. It's time to get pumped up. Where's my wedding tunes at?
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a playlist called Hispanic shit.
They need to. Why don't they have like a now? That's what I call wedding tunes 2016 or 2017. They need to do that.
Guarantee you it exists in some form. Might not be called that, but guarantee you.
That already exists 100%.
Maybe so. Maybe.
What
It's
is
on
it
the
like to
nod.
have a
Go
culture,
look
Max?
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wedding
Um,
jams. Good stuff.
Yeah, Max, you were asking what comes out next week. There's Destiny 2 on Tuesday,
Yeah,
and
PC,
then and then Friday it's Mario, and then I think the same day or maybe it's Tuesday. There's Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Wolfenstein.
stuff.
Yeah,
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that game.
yeah. I can't get excited. I don't know. I'm not super. I was like kind of stoked when I saw the trailer for Wolfenstein, but it's kind of like backbred. That'll probably be like the last one I play. I'm more excited for Assassin's Creed because I want to see if they fucked it up again after 2 years.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, no,
dude,
I was
we
just
fucked
talking
it up
about that
again.
last night on stream. I was like, this one looks interesting and it has the potential to be good, but it's just Ubisoft, right? We've gone through this so many times. They took a year off making an Assassin's Creed, and now it's just like, please don't fuck up again.
See, and
Don't-
the thing that was
Just repetitive bullshit.
Yeah.
Some repetitive bullshit's okay, but just come on, make it interesting.
the thing that was weird for me was that I was like the only person that I know that actually enjoyed Syndicate, which was the last Assassin's Creed game to come out. Like I played that game to completion, which I have no fucking idea why. Maybe I was just in the idea of stabbing dudes.
It's because of your deep personal romantic connection to the culture in which it is set.
Yeah, maybe so.
Your husband
It's true.
comes from there.
I wanted
You
to
know, it's a way
learn
to
about
connect
his
with these
past.
people.
Yeah.
true.
Stabbing dudes is fun, it turns out, though. But yeah, Origins has like numbers that like they have damage numbers when you hit someone in that game. And I want to see what that's all about because that's
get
never
those
been
sweet
done
deeps.
before. Yeah. And it's all, they have a lot of gear. There's like epic and legendary gear because everyone's got gear these days in their games. It's a good way to add artificial length to it. So I hope it's good. But yeah, Mario's probably my number one right now. I'm super stoked for Mario. That's going to be hard to not play next Friday when everyone gets here for the live show. So I don't know how I'm going to handle that.
Yeah, all these games coming out and I have to go to the stinking live show. Oh,
I know, dude. Ken, this is a real curse, by the way, and it's happening again in fucking December. Every time we do a live show, there's a monumental game release that comes out without fail. Last year, WoW Legion came out the week of the live show. This past live show in September, Destiny 2 came out on console. Like, there's gigantic releases whenever we do a live show, and I have no idea why we choose these dates without looking at game release times.
you're giving people the option to watch something else other than what everyone else on Twitch is playing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Max, what were you eating before the show? You were talking about it, but I was too busy cursing. Yeah, what's in your mouth right now? I was too busy cursing Skype's name.
Well, Max, while you digest that, I would just like to point out an interaction that happened prior to the show that I'm curious to see if Aaron regrets. So, Aaron was mouthing me off, and as I do, I threatened to turn her into a draft horse.
Uh-oh.
And I believe Aaron's exact words were, "You can't do that." To which I said, "Oh, honey, you've obviously never met the Dungeon Master before. I could do anything I want."
Uh-oh.
So Aaron, what horrible thing should I mutate you into today?
No, that's not real.
I mean, it is. It is real. It's completely real.
You thought we're gonna.
Can I be like a red squirrel?
Sure.
Okay, I could be a red squirrel. That was my true story. That was my nickname in middle school.
Red squirrel.
Red Squirrel? Were you part of a superhero team?
No, because I have really, really curly hair, and my friend's dad used to make fun of me because I would just pull this like wild, untamed hair into a ponytail, and he told me it looked like a squirrel tail. So they used to call me Squirrel because I had this like big, bushy, kind of auburn hair, and it looked like a squirrel tail. So.
Yes, continue telling me embarrassing things from your past that I can use to haunt your character.
Yeah. Aaron's super sleep deprived now, so we could just keep asking her questions.
how you doing,
It's like
buddy?
truth serum.
Yeah, it's truth serum.
That same. Like,
I slept through 2 alarms and 57 phone calls.
I saw that.
JP called me 57 times
true.
to try to wake me up, and nope.
I got to hear your answering machine. Hey, it's Aaron. About 57 times, I'd say, ish, maybe
You just
roundabout
missed
number.
me that much, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
it's dedication, though. It's good.
yeah, it's true.
It
Just to
was
hear
really
your voice
good.
one more
He did-
time.
But then the sweet part was, then he didn't just go like, well, I guess she's sleeping. He called my brother and was like, I think you need to go check on your sister. Aww.
Yep.
I
Well, I was worried you were dead at that point. So.
I think JP's words were, I was worried you fell out of bed and hit your head on something.
Yep.
And I was, nope, I just was asleep.
Yeah.
So
Because you've never slept through an alarm like that before, so that's why.
I've
Yeah,
never done
that
that.
can be scary.
Never done that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, and the problem was I was having a nightmare. So when I woke up from a nightmare, and then I saw the sun outside and knew that I was supposed to be at the airport by 5 a.m. before the sun is up. And I was like, no. And then I checked my phone, and it was 6:30, and my flight took off at 6:40. And I was like, no.
It's
That's
one
the
of the
worst
best
feeling.
feelings, though. That's when you really feel alive, when you wake up to that, because then you're just like, oh,
No.
God.
Well, then I got to the airport, and I'm using a Fitbit for the first time, and I didn't realize it, like, tracks your heart rate. And I was at the airport, and it was like, good job working out. Your heartbeat is higher. And I was like, I'm just anxious.
You start getting those text messages like, "You appear to be dying. You have died."
Yeah.
Heart attack detected. Calling.
Yeah. Thank you for choosing Fitbit. You are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my morning.
Nice. Max, so what was that you're eating out of, like a weird soup bowl?
Not a weird
type thing?
bowl, all right? It's a shark bowl, okay?
Max,
Nom,
that's a
nom,
weird
nom.
bowl.
It's weird. Sorry.
Get it?
It's
great.
also
great.
like it's got
nostalgic.
feet.
It's like, did any of you guys ever have a shark bowl or anything like maybe a bear or something like that?
Does it have teeth on the inside, or is it just
It
like?
does. Look at this shit. It's got
Oh!
teeth right there. It's fucking badass, dude.
That's got to be a nightmare to wash. I would never get that bowl's just not.
It's okay. It's not. It doesn't have as many like crevices as you might think. But
That's a phrase you don't hear every day.
it doesn't have as many crevices as you might think. Okay. Yeah, no, it's good. I was eating. It's actually nothing special. It's just from Costco. They have like a frozen like noodle kind of like pea pods and like vegetables and things like that. And then I just put some habanero, spicy stuff in there, and it's good. It's good
You
stuff.
diluted the Costco badness with just hot sauce, is what you're saying.
Well, it's not that bad by itself. It doesn't have as much flavor. You know what I mean? It's just kind of plain, and I like.
Yeah,
I like
no,
spicy stuff.
you diluted the bad Costco food with hot sauce. That's exactly
gotta
what
get-
I was.
you said it in a more positive way. I said it in the real way.
That's true. It's not so much even that it's like bad. It's more just like I grew up in a Hispanic household, so I need spice on stuff. It tastes a lot more bland to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It already is, I'm sure, bland, but
Listen, Max, we have the fragile Nordic palate to attend to here. We just need plain, bland, gentle food.
Yes. Exactly. I don't.
Chicken rice.
Hot sauce is never. I've never been like, man, this could use some hot sauce. That's how.
Oh,
adverse
dude, no,
to hot
never.
Sauce
Hot
I
sauce
am.
is the worst. Mary's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, give me that
Right.
that nuclear sauce over there. Throw it all over there, and I'm like, I can't even be in the same room. I just cry.
I've recommended this several times to people. Just quick one. We can move on from me. I played The Evil Within. Yay, it was fun. Fried chicken. Okay, if you like spicy stuff and you like jalapenos, get some pickled whole jalapenos from the store. You can get them at the grocery store.
I'm out.
Fried chicken. Take a bite of your fried chicken. Take a little bite to try it out of the jalapeno. You're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it. It's great. It's gonna change the world. You're
Nope.
gonna never eat it the same. It's gonna be great.
Nope, I'm out. I will say, Max, the closest, for whatever reason, and I think because I always heat it when it's like unbelievably scalding temperature hot, at the playground they make vinegar fried chicken. And for whatever reason, when I think of spicy food, I equate it to that, even though it has zero spice in it, because it's always so fucking hot that I burn the shit out of my mouth. That's why I
It's
don't.
the vinegar and the fact that you experience pain from how
Yeah,
hot.
exactly.
Here's what you gotta do. I got a special Core Swords meal for you. I call it the Zawaz Wazaz. Here's what you do. You get a bowl of rice, you put it on the counter, get yourself hot ass peppers, you chop it up, you just rub your hands all over it, touch your eyes and nose and genitals for 30 or 40 seconds, throw the rice on the floor, and then just lay there crying until the pain.
This is Zawaz.
Aaron Zawaz is the
Yes.
character who died from, I don't know if you know that, but he died from just being blasted by a, what was it? Fucking fire blast or
kobold.
some shit.
Yeah, it was a kobold casting
Scorching ray.
Yeah.
It was day 9. Very smug character, and he died. Just burning.
You too can have that experience. Just involves your mucous membranes and some hot chilies.
Yeah.
I feel like me and JP bonded today with our hate of hot food.
Yeah,
Even
I
just
don't like hot
even
food.
just temperature hot food. Boo. Get
There-
outta here.
What I'm trying to think, there is one thing that I eat that's like semi-spicy, but I can't.
Spicy mustard is the most you can handle.
No. What is it that I eat that's
You're
like?
like, damn it. Wait. That's where our, that's where similarities.
Damn.
We're
Thought I
almost
knew
there.
you. Betrayed.
It's like the world's worst first date. So, what foods do you like?
I love everything hot. All right, next.
I mean, what do you expect? I grew up in a Mexican family. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I have a pretty normal food routine, so I'm literally going through everything that I would like possibly eat and trying to figure out what it is that I get that's slightly spicy, and it's like way too spicy for me.
do you ever fuck with like even like Indian food, like curries or anything like that? Or
Yeah, curry's fine.
those can be like a little heat, but it's mainly you just get the flavor from it. They
Yeah,
can-
it's not like Thai restaurant hot where you're like, how hot do you want it? And you're like, imagine your scale that tops out at white people hot above that. Make it like the way you make it for yourself for lunch. I want that. No, I'm spicy food. So I'm not, I can appreciate it, but my tolerance is very low. I can be like, That was good. I'm gonna go lie down.
Even me, there's a difference. My threshold obviously is much higher than your average person, but there's still a point where it just becomes pain, and that's all you get, right? If there's no flavor in there, then I'm out. Like I don't care. Like, and that's
maybe it's those Jalisco's chips that we usually get for the live show. I don't know how to say what. I think that's
Those are
maybe.
not spicy at all.
I know that's my spice limit though.
What about like the purple bag Dorito, the sweet spicy chili or whatever? Those are delicious.
I don't buy Doritos. We don't have Doritos in this house, Ken.
That's the most mom thing you've ever said. Oh, we don't have
Doritos in this house.
We don't have Doritos in this household.
If you want
No
some Doritos
Doritos
though,
mister.
next week
This is
put it
a
on your
household
rider
that
and let me know.
respects Jesus. Like, no spice at all. That's the devil's chips.
Yeah.
There's flame on that bag. That's hellfire. Nah, boy, get out of here.
I think it's those Jalisco's chips that we buy.
It's in a triangle shape like the end of his tail. Devil's tail.
There is some spice in those though, I think.
Bugles. Did you guys used to put bugles on the end of your fingers and be like,
Yeah.
Because then you look like a witch. Yeah. That's also of the devil. Come on.
Yeah.
And so them Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, the devil.
You know,
D&D, the devil, there's magic in
I
it.
was say we joke, but I actually went to high school with someone whose parents threw all of his Dungeons and Dragons books in a fire because the devil.
That's a thing. No, that was very much a thing.
This
yeah,
is-
they used
this
to
is
think it was
something-
like.
We talked about this with Jerry when he guested for dogs, talking about the devil Satan. It's totally
No, I've seen it. I've grown up in the deep South, Bible Belt Central. You know, it's like Pokemon. Don't get any Pokemon cards. You got to go to church. Ask for forgiveness for buying Pokemans.
Pikachu is a false idol.
Pikachu
all right?
means devil in Japanese or something. I was like, what?
I didn't watch the
It's
Harry
great because it
Potter.
actually means sparkle mouse.
I didn't watch.
Same thing. It's the devil.
It's the same reason I didn't read all the Harry Potter books or get to watch them. The reason why I watched the Harry Potter movies at a younger age is because Max was tech savvy and burned himself copies from the internet pirated of Harry Potter.
Internet, also the devil. It's all everything's the devil. It's just the devil.
It is true. It is true.
So to fit with our horror theme that we got going in the Court of Swords, and now that Aaron has challenged DM Adam, on our way out of this cave, he's going to transform us all into horses, and we're going to have to make athletic saves at disadvantage for the next 3 hours to get out. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, totally. You all turn into horses. You find yourself in a swamp. You are drowning in the swamp. There is a young boy there. He is crying loudly. What do you do?
Just die.
Just die.
Yeah, just die. Just die. All right. Well, I think we've talked enough about hot stuff. Now my mouth is getting a little bit hotter. I'm not a fan of this. Let's move on. Okay. Let's just play the
Excellent.
the Dungeons.
Did you
and
get that
Dragons.
like kind of like sour feeling when you think of something like a lemon or whatever?
No, Max.
It's the same thing with.
Nope.
Don't talk to me in that tone. All right, it was a question.
Wait, what is that, like mouth vertigo? Or what was that what you're describing there?
No, it's like you get a sensation sometimes when you think of something that's strong tasting, whether it be tangy or spicy or whatever. Usually it's tangy, but I don't know if that happened. It wasn't that serious of a question. So the Evil Within 2, fantastic. Let's just
really
play
good
D&D.
stuff.
Can we?
So JP, you have a new character.
I do.
There are I don't know what your character looks like, so I picked a bunch of potential tokens for you. You can let me know if any of those over there appeal to you, and then we can figure out your character.
Okay.
Do you want to have been investigating the same thing and captured by the mushroom people, or do you want to come in after they leave the cavern of Nadi?
I've been captured.
Yeah, you were meant to be processed for the mushroom farm.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Great. All right, we'll take a look at those. Take a look at those tokens, see if any of those fit, and then we'll get a description of your character, and I can look for some more if you don't like those ones. Great. All right. So the survivors in the immediate aftermath of the massacre at Nadi's, you find yourselves in the as yet fungally infested river mouth chamber that, even though the river has dried up, still retains some amount of the sacred flow of the river goddess here. The walls are damp, but everything has a lichen or swamp plant attached to it. There is a kind of fecund, like growth smell in the air, and somewhere deep in the back of the cavern, Yam, you know why, but the smell of decay wafts its way through the cave. Amidst the water, there are bones scattered at the roots of these mushrooms, and in the center of the cavern, a massive green jade statue or fountain sits dry. There are a few of the more timid sproutlings kind of hanging around in the cavern. Some have retreated away from you. But all around you are the scattered bodies of the myconids that once dwelt in this formerly sacred place. I think we can cut in as soon as the fight is over, right? Like as soon as things go quiet. Sorrow, do you? I mean, you know instinctively that Kishnagal has died, right? You watched him die at the hands of these mushroom creatures. Do you let your friends know that this has happened? Do you rush to his side? I think we'll start on you. So you're like knee deep in the water. You yourself are badly like bruised and beat up by these mushroom people. What is the first thing you do when we fade back into the scene?
The first thing that I would do as soon as we realize that the immediate threat is over is to run over to his body and see if there's anything. Either I know I can't save him, but to respectfully do something with his body so it's not just sitting amongst all of the corpses of all of these people.
Now you've been separated from your people and certainly never been close to or a part of Kishnagal's. But do you what? Have you ever seen a funeral before? Have you ever been around anyone who has died?
No, not people, right?
Yeah.
Living in the backwoods with just me and my mom the whole duration of the 25, 30 years that I've been on this planet, that's never been something that I've had to confront. So the only thing that I know is from what we taught about respecting life, when you have to, take an animal for food, you have to take an animal's life. Life is a very sacred thing, right?
You got to use the whole buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, much of Kishnagal's meat is still in good shape.
No, we're not going to go that far.
I'm just saying. So I guess that's the question. So that's different. Someone taught you we don't eat people.
Yeah, my mom is a people.
Yeah, so she taught you that. Don't eat other. All right, and you recognize a Kishnagal as a people.
So the thing is that I don't know that I know that I am different, and I know that I'm scary, and I know that I'm not fully people, but I'm more people than I am whatever this other thing is, right? I was raised by a human. Human are my people, even though they don't feel like they're my people.
Right. Yeah, they don't like you, but you still feel like a kinship to them. Well,
Right.
a Kishnagal was not a human. A Kishnagal was a great lumbering furbolg creature.
But he's humanoid.
Sure, and that's for me. It's more of the question, right? So you see Kishnagal as a person. Okay, so his wooden mask is shattered, lying in bloody pieces on the floor amidst the bodies of the mushroom men who are already beginning to decompose. So you can see their fibrous structure starting to break apart. The last of their internal sort of spore clusters are popping, throwing little tiny spores into the air. The area is lit both by your own innate dark vision, so you can see in the strange tones of your devil sight, but also by the slowly fading light of Kishnagal's last mortal act, right? The spell of daylight that illuminates the cavern. And so as it fades, you can see these bodies becoming mulch quickly and throwing off the last of their death spores. Kishnagal's body lies battered and broken. The cause of death, the fists of myconids, but it does appear for now to be at peace. But as for funerary rites, that's I think your call. If you've never witnessed one, I don't know what you would think to do with a body.
Just to close his eyes so that he looks like he's sleeping
and
not probably horror terror stricken.
So is that an analogy, like a story that your mother would have told you? Like, are sleep and death kin? Are they cousins? Right? Like, you want him to look like he's sleeping. What's that about?
Yeah, because it's obviously being a tiefling and knowing that there's something else that is beyond just this, right? There are these gods that we know that we're chasing after, and there are different being alive isn't just being alive in this specific realm, right? And so when you're sleeping and then you dream, you're in a different realm. So I imagine like in the living as these backwoods kind of this herbalism type, hippie type thing, that this would be something that death would just be a part of the story and not the story as a whole.
Okay, so this is the final sleep, like the last. So you go to close his eyes so that his spirit can go to whatever place. And this is something that's true for everybody. Like that's the story you learned, that everybody goes to the same place when they die.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the difference between being what I am and being human is that I know that humanoids are all essentially the same, right? So even though like Thorn looks more like a cat than he does a person, he's a humanoid, and underneath all of that we still operate the same. And so there's no inherent like you are good or bad because you are this thing. And I was just raised that this is who I am and I'm different than someone else, but that doesn't make me better or worse.
That is it's a very enlightened point of view for a half devil to have. I'm not sure everyone on Earth would agree with you, but it's good that you feel that way. Okay, so you rush to Kishingal's body, and yeah, clutched in one hand is you can show you had a staff, I think, and
yeah.
there's a shield on one arm and a druidic focus. As well, lying at Kishingal's feet is his bag, his bag of rations and other items, his herbalism kit. A strange gray cloth bag lies nearby, the bodies around him are starting to sort of decompose and send out like runners. And it looks like if you don't move the body, probably they will the final sort of fungal spread will try to consume it as fuel. So.
Yeah, so I think at this point I would look at the other members of the group, especially Yam, and ask what to do. Because this is obviously Yam's very good friend / mentor. So finding out what he wants to do and helping him with whatever that would be.
Okay. Now, do you want to? I mean, you're not very strong. You're not strong enough to pick up at Kishingal, I don't think. Like you're pretty weak. So you look back into the cavern, and the closest person to you would be Thorn. So Thorn, when everything becomes suddenly silent, what do we find you doing?
I think Thorn still has his bow out, kind of like looking around a little bit, just making sure, like at the slightest bit of noise. And once he realizes everything's fine, he, I guess he like kind of puts his bow away and then looks towards Salix for a second, and then tries to find Yam and remembers he was fighting up above, and then just yells at him, be like,
"Is that what you wanted? That was a great waste of our time, wasn't it? Fantastic, dwarf man. Great, love it."
So Yam, you've just killed the sovereign you were tangling with, and its body lies battered in the water. And yeah, so you're probably still like breathing hard. You've just changed back in your dwarf form, and yeah, Thorn starts to berate you from across the cavern.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm not even aware that he's Schnugelbear has fallen, am I?
No, you haven't seen it. You know that he was fighting down in the cavern near the south, but you haven't heard him speak. Or
yeah, I'm gonna turn and be like, yeah, I got that, yeah, like proud of the kill that I just notched on my belt.
Thorn comes up to the edge and just like,
you just had to go with these mushroom people, huh? We couldn't have just fought them outright. Go see your friend.
Yeah, I look at him confused and look for my friend.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean there's no sign of him in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't see Salix either from where you're standing, but you can head back towards that direction.
Yeah, well definitely. Well, I guess I've been taking off and not coming back. Don't really know where everyone is, but just ask, like, well, where Where are they? Where's the rest of the group?
He just points like that way.
And begin walking in that direction. Or well, in a hurried jog, walk in that or go in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. So as you reach the area of the cave where the sort of real battle took place, the main fighting, you can see the bodies of these myconids piled 2, sometimes 3 high in places. And the whole area is redolent with spores. There's a veritable fog of it surrounding the bodies. And as you get closer, every few seconds, there's a hiss or a pop as one of their kind of internal spore sacs cracks open and emits a cloud of vapor. And through it, you can see Salix with her back turned to you, and at her feet, another body, less fungal, lies still.
I'll immediately rush over to the body and probably even pushing her out of the way as, someone that I don't fully trust lays over the body of my friend. And I assume that I see these dead AF.
Yes. Yeah. Lying, eyes closed, mask shattered, blood painting the wall and floor.
Well, just looking over his body and just shock and just like, oh no, Snoogle Bear. Lift his head up and place it in my lap and brush his hair back, all of his hair. And I'll ask Sorrow, what happened?
He just got overwhelmed and we were too far away and there was nothing we could do.
And begin to tear down the cheek and, oh no, Snoogle Bear, no, not like this. What am I supposed to do without you? What about, and I'll think off of the times of us riding through the field as he's this horse and I'm on top of him, beard flowing in the wind in the nude.
Yeah. You got a whole like Seth Rogen thing going on. I like it. I dig it. All right.
But not to draw the scene out too long, but he's definitely heartbroken and doesn't want to show his emotion and is trying to hold it in as best he can. So making to tremble a little bit and just start thinking of who he needs to kill to get revenge.
As he's like struggling, I bend down and kind of put my hand on his back and just say like, this isn't the last time you're going to see him. And just try to, as awkwardly and not human, try to be human and deal with this thing that I have no idea how to deal with. Because I wasn't attached to him, but I know that he's upset. And when someone's upset, you're supposed to comfort them with something. But how do you comfort a Yam?
Right. And from your hand of attempted comfort, I'll just stiffen a little and breathe in with clenched teeth and be like, he's returned to, and just start trying to collect his body. Because if I can see that this fungus is trying to take him over.
Yeah, I think like if you want to lift him up from the ground, there are strands of fungus that are just like starting to take hold on his clothes that snap away as you pick them up. Thin.
Yeah. I think even though like this is a way of him returning back to nature, that I don't want his body to be here.
Yeah, not here, not like this. There's got to be some other place.
Right.
Okay.
And try my best. I mean, even though we still got business, but this is kind of taking over the mind of Yam.
You just picked him up? Is that what you did?
I'm attempting to like hoist him up and try to, and if
Thorn's
I can, then
looking
I'm
at you guys as you do that, and he's like, "Wait,
What are you doing?
getting him out of here before this fungus takes the body."
Listen, now's not the time to be emotional, man. Look around us. We just made a lot of noise. We don't know what else is in here. All right, we got to get moving. And you carrying your buddy, listen, I'm sure he's a great guy. I didn't know him, but we got to go.
What would Yam think right now? Yam's probably not even trying to think about the large thing that he saw in the back.
As Thorn notices that you're just thinking and kind of like, mulling over, he's like,
Listen, the body's just a shell. He's not there anymore.
No. I begin placing back down the ground as he's right. And I'm sure Snooky Bear would say the same thing.
If you want to do something, you can. But make it quick. We got to go.
Their god is in the back room, is this mushroom that they've been feeding these bodies to. We can't leave until we take care of that. We have to at least finish our business here that we came to do.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And Thorn walks over to like keep patrol over here in the opening.
From the body, what was your druidic focus, JP, if you remember?
Oh man, what does it say? Did I put on my character sheet? Let's see. I don't know if I ever actually said what my druidic focus was, but it was the mask.
Was the mask?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'll definitely collect the mask and keep it as a memento. And then grab the bag that you left on the ground.
Yep.
I think Thorn also looks around, knowing that there's probably nothing because they're just fungus creatures, but just to see if there's anything, collects his arrows. So I get like,
Yeah, I mean, you don't
7,
see.
so I just get half back. Would have been just 3.
Yeah, half of whatever you used.
3 or
You
4.
Okay.
You don't see. You don't see the anything around here, but you remember, Yom, if you go a little further back, there was that cache of what looked like either stolen or just discarded, like the fungal creatures, the myconids. They wanted bodies, right? They didn't care about loot, so there was this pile of like discarded stuff. So if there is anything, that's where it would be.
Okay. And did you ask me out loud what you had said? Or what are we doing?
Yeah,
We're
you
just-
see.
we're just recalling?
You see Thorn. You see Thorn looking around, kind of like curiously. With, I guess, I mean, Thorn doesn't express this, but the intent to loot, right?
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of crouching down, sifting through stuff, seeing if there's anything.
Now, if you're looking for loot, and I'll point back in the direction where I'd seen the cache, there's more than you could carry back there.
Maybe we should go check it out.
I need to get my axe back as well.
Yeah. How about that? I just took it now.
As they're like looking around for stuff, I walk up behind Yam and just kind of hand him over the bag that was Akishnagal's stuff.
Mm.
Like, I think this might be yours now.
All right, and I'll accept it from her. The bag of was a bag of tricks that you had.
Mhm.
I will hand that to her, and you'll get more use out of this than I will. He would want you to have this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, take it, please.
So I kind of take it and put it back in the side of my satchel and go forward to where Thorn is to help him figure out what this new loot stash looks like.
And I will head and try to figure out where my axe is, if that same guy still has it.
Okay, so you wanna just go around the corner?
Is that where he was? Yeah, around the corner.
Okay, all right. So you go around the corner where you saw the little creature take your axe, and yeah, in that little alcove, there's one of these little fungal creatures, and he's mostly head. He's like a big honeycomb shaped fungus. 2 little kind of glowing yellow eyes under a sort of semi-bipedal body. Whole thing's maybe like knee high. And he's got his little purple arms wrapped around the haft of the axe, and the whole time he seems to have just been like growing around it, so it's kind of like partway into his body, and he's just kind of sitting on top of it, and little like spores are floating around his head.
Okay. Well, however you want to do this, Yam is going to relieve some tension on this thing's face for a bit and try to tear it to pieces. Not really trying to get the axe, but more just destroy it.
Okay. Yeah. So you step forward, and he's got there's a pretty sizable cloud of little magenta spores floating in the air, glowing faintly. You have to walk through them to get up to him.
Okay. I'll probably be in there for a while, but I'll attempt to take a breath and step
hold your breath. Okay. All right. So you like hold your breath, walk in, and just immediately attack the thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sure. With what? He has your weapon.
Hand axe. No, just fists. Just fists.
Just punch him with your fist.
Thorn's gonna just shoot an arrow at him.
All right. Well, so let's give Yam a second here. Make an athletics check, Yam. You can wrestle with this little fucker.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. So he's got.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah. So let's see how it goes, and then you can tell me how that looks. Okay. So. It's maybe not like as easy a battle as you thought, but you're able to wrestle the thing free, and in doing so, like, you tear it out of its body, you can kill it. But what does that look like? Is this just like Yam shouting his rage at the mushroom creature, and this is just an excuse, or what does it look like?
Well, from my mind, this mushroom creature, he said it's growing around the axe himself, right?
Yeah.
It's just like grabbing it, and yeah, just screaming the big breath I've taken, just yelling it all out, and just trying my best to rip pieces off of it,
tearing away with your hands.
Yeah.
Chunks of purple mushroom creature getting thrown around. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, you dismember the thing fairly easily, and pull your axe free. And when you're panting as the spore cloud settles, and you look up, and on the back wall, illuminated by the fading daylight spell, you can see that some of the spores have collected on the back wall in a sort of pattern, and like a cave painting made out of like this kind of grayish purple charcoal, you can see that there is a figure that seems to be like part bear, part person. It's got the head of a bear, but like a long beard and a stout body. And it's kind of got its hand out, and there's like an axe-shaped object, and it's giving it to a smaller mushroom-shaped creature. And you can see those spores have collected on the wall in that shape, and they're glittering faintly in the light.
Well, Yam, being reminded of what he thinks may have been a mistake to go with him and give him his axe, is going to strike with his axe angrily more, and
just chopping away at the body.
Yeah, the body, and might possibly even the spores have gathered, but like just everything. Nah,
just
so
like, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're having a little meltdown over in the corner.
Yeah, he's got to get it out of his system. Give him about 30 seconds to just tire himself out.
Sure. Yeah. So the sounds of Yam's deep grief and rage echo through the cave. So while that's happening, what are you two doing, Salix and Thorn?
He's just like, while he's just like going crazy on this mushrooms, like over here in the corner.
Yeah.
I think Thorn, like, as he approached the thing, was like just gonna do an arrow just because he saw the spores, and he's just like, come on, really? He's just waiting for him to be done, looking around.
Okay.
Trying to find this loot stash.
Okay. Salix, are you doing anything?
Yeah, hanging out next to Thorn, and as these echoes of Yam just like screaming in anger, I just look at Thorn and I'm like, is this normal? Is this what people do when people die?
I don't know. Normally they don't waste time if they have any sort of real cognitive thought, critical thinking, but I guess he's let emotion take over.
Should we help him, or do we just let him go?
Just let him do his thing. Let's look for a way out of here, what we got to do next.
Okay. Then she just starts kind of wandering around the cave and seeing if there are like other exits or things that we haven't seen other than coming back the way that we came.
Yeah, sure. So the cavern is a sort of misshapen, like multi-lobed clover kind of design. There are lots of little side areas that are full of bones and different types of fungus. Most of the fungus down here is sort of a dark green or ochre color. There's the central island on which rests the jade fountain. And then to the north, there is a cavern that splits. There's a tunnel that splits off to the west that leads into a larger cavern. This is where Yam was dragged earlier. You haven't seen up there. And then there are several longer tunnels to the east. One that goes as far back as the light spell carries, and another that goes east and then north from there. Lots of places you haven't seen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point, Sorrow's gonna walk into where Yam is and just like quietly, as he's like screaming and like throwing everything.
Yeah, he's got like rage tears and snot in his beard, and he's covered in fungus. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just gonna say, I don't want to stop you, but we have to leave, and you're probably the best person to figure out which way to get us out. Do you want to look, or do you need a minute?
And probably through like the yells, and I hear a voice speaking to me, make jump a little bit and turn and look and like wipe my eyes and and then as emotion would fade a little bit, remember that there are more of these things in the back, and my possibly just like brush you out of the way and start heading that direction.
She sees him kind of take off in this stomp fit of rage, so she backs off, but not in time for him to kind of check her with his shoulder on the way out. And she just stumbles a little bit and then follows behind him without saying anything at all.
Yeah, and Yam is one to head back in the direction in the back where he originally was when the fight got started.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Thorn sees him going. He's like, just finally, let's go.
Okay. So you're all going to head to the northern part of the cavern? Okay. All right. So you continue up the way that you were dragged before, Yam, and the cavern, the tunnel, it's quite wide. There's a column in the center, but it's about 30 feet across. And at the maybe 20, 25 feet to the north, the tunnel splits. To the left, it raises up out of the murk into a cavern. And at the back end of the cavern, there's a pile of haphazardly tossed equipment. There's some backpacks, some crates that look broken, a faint dusting of spores on them. And in the back end of the cavern, there's a cluster of sort of spiky looking like brown puffball like mushrooms. So that's off to the west, and then to the north, the sweet smell of decaying organic fertilizer wafts down from the dampness of the cavern there.
Okay. Well, as we're going, then I'd like just motion my hand over to where the loot stash is, and then continue to the north myself.
Before, as you start moving, Thorn puts his hand on his shoulder, like, "Hey, wait up, big guy. You and the other one don't look so good. If there's more of these things up there, we're already down a person. You wanna take him on right now?"
He's just puffing. He's like, Yam's not really giving you much of a response back. He's just kind of, he's listening to you, but you can see that he's just in his head mostly, but he doesn't continue forward. He stops.
If you want to do it, I'm okay to fight, but no, our chances are a lot worse. And if shit goes down, I'm leaving.
At this point, Salak stops. She steps forward and says, well, I think I might have a way to help us get through if we just want to try to get out without seeing anyone. And then at this point, could she cast Pass Without Trace?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I would do.
So what does your casting that look like? Do you let me see the spell here. It's a ranger spell, right? That you're just gonna cast?
Yeah.
That's where it comes from? Okay. Yeah. So a veil of shadow and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. It has a verbal, a somatic, and a material component. So it involves ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. So there are words of the spell and like hand gestures and this ash that you use. What does this look like? Are you like anointing them with the ash while you're like whispering a prayer? Do you talk out loud? What does your spellcasting look like?
Yeah, so for this specific one, it's a lot of whispering and introspectiveness, right? So Salix would close her eyes and she would whisper, but almost in like a melodic type tone where it kind of sounds like a song. And as that starts to happen, there's like a physical like cloud that would kind of start emerging from like where her feet would be. And then that cloud starts to envelop the people that are around and being cast upon.
Cool. Okay, great. Yeah, so the group of you are affected by this spell. You are silent and have a +10 bonus to stealth checks. You cannot be tracked except by magical means, so long as your ranger companion concentrates on the spell up to a period of 1 hour.
All right.
Yeah, excellent.
I think someone moves over to check out this loot.
Okay. Yeah. So piles of sort of mundane equipment, rough-hewn wooden barrels, a couple of crates. One of the barrels is cracked open, and whatever fluid was in it has spilled out. So the barrel's empty now. You can smell maybe the like tang of alcohol in the air. There is a backpack lying next to some traveler's clothes. There's a longsword tucked under it, a dagger and a spear. You also see a pack of miscellaneous gear. So like it looks like it was taken off of a traveler. Candles, a bedroll. All of it seems to be in pretty good shape, but is all like piled here. There is also lying in this same sort of spot. There is a gauntlet, a finely made leather gauntlet, whose fingers end in metal caps. It's beautiful. It's a beautifully crafted item. The rest of the equipment seems to be animal pelts, like it was taken from a trader or a trapper, something like that.
So more or less, most of it's all pretty much average stuff you could get at any general place.
Well, I mean, there's a big pile of like pelts that you could sell at a market or sell in a village for sure. Like it looks like a hunter or trapper was coming back from the mountains, headed to town, and then got captured.
Sure. It's a decent amount that wouldn't encumber Thorn if you just grabbed him and took them, rolled them.
I mean, you'd need to split it up. But yeah, because I mean, like a big stack of pelts is pretty heavy.
I think Thorn's gonna more or less just ignore the pelts then, and just go for the. Can Thorn detect magic? Can anybody? You gotta have somebody who's like.
Yeah, I mean, if you spend time examining an object, like a short rest or whatever, you can figure out what it is. But
okay, does it have that look to it, or does it just kind of look like a nice?
I don't want to speak for your character, but it's among the finest pieces of. It's a beautiful glove. What its purpose is, you cannot know, but yeah, it's a masterwork of craftsmanship.
You said glove.
Yeah, it's like a gauntlet, a leather gauntlet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't tell what skin it is made of, but it's yeah.
All right, I guess he motions the others over here, like, hey, come take a look at this.
All right. Yam's gonna speak up and say, well, we didn't come here to loot. We came to clean this place out.
Yeah, well,
we have to finish this.
If it helps us do our job, and maybe it's worth taking a look at.
Look at it.
Salix kind of looks at it and realizes that it looks really ornate, and she backs away and says, "This looks like something from the Green Man, and there's magic comes at a cost. If you want it, that's on you, but I'm not taking it."
Well, I mean, is it magic? I don't know.
It doesn't look normal, not what I've seen, but she continues kind of backing away from it.
Decision time. Do you guys want to rest first, or do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm ready
Okay, shape. You guys got a little roughed up.
well, I can only hold this veil for so long, but I think if we can just hurry and get out, we can take a rest once we know that we're safe.
Yeah, and as you speak, Selix, the spell, it's essentially like whatever else you're doing, you have to keep singing a song in the back of your head, and if you miss a beat or you like screw up a lyric, the song will end. So when you're talking, you're able to speak and act and do all these other things, but you have this thing your mind is like partly tending to all the time.
Okay, well, Thorn's just going to grab the gauntlet.
Okay.
And store it.
All right.
Would there be any like arrows mixed into this that either Thorn or I would take with us if this is a hunter? Would there have been like a stack of arrows or?
No, but there are a couple of snares, like rope snares that are in the trap. So this is a trapper rather than a like a bow hunter.
Okay. Probably grab those snares too.
Okay. Yeah, there's 2 like hunting snares.
The character's frustrated. He's throw his hands up and he's going to turn and start heading towards the north.
Okay. All right. I guess the other 2 follow because you all have to stay close together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you head north, you begin to descend into the deeper water, moving into the darkness, and the strong smell of decay wafts out from this cavern. And I think we'll fade to our first break there, and we'll pick up in the cavern when we get back.
All right.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and take our first break then. We'll be right back with more Court of Swords right after this. We'll see you then.